And so I'm going to talk some about the sales management process and an overview, a little bit about the characteristic of sales managers. And then as far as the role of the sales force and the process of selling and buying, that really encapsulates the intro class, the professional selling class. Those slides I would like you to review, but I'll let you read over them yourself. And then I'll do a separate video on the CRM software. So, why do you need this class? Well, sales education's even more important because if you're a marketing major, 82% of you are going to go into selling. And 66% of all college business students are going to be in a job that's somewhat sales related. And there is a shortage of salespeople or qualified salespeople. And by qualified, and this was a USA Today article a couple of years ago, by qualified, it means trained business professional salespeople like that are taking classes like this one and like the professional selling class. So that's good news for you. There are plenty of jobs for you. Nothing happens until someone sells something. So sales positions are hard to fill. So if you think about corporate partners that come into your classes, well, maybe not currently, but used to come into your class and would talk about their company and talk to you, why they're doing that is they are looking for those qualified salespeople. Sales is also expensive, but it's also very lucrative for you. There are more jobs and you will make more money than other marketing professionals. So you can read through the objectives of the class, but a lot of times I get the question, okay, but why do I need sales management? Because I'm probably not going to initially be a sales manager. Well, I'd like you to meet my former student, Morgan. She graduated in the spring of 2016 and was a sales major at Illinois State University, taking very similar, if not exactly the same type of classes that you're taking. So how quickly could you become a sales manager? Well, she, right out of college, started with Michelin. She was Rookie of the Year in 2017. Then in May 2018, they asked her to be a business-to-business corporate recruiter. She did that for a while before becoming a regional sales manager. So, graduated in spring 2016, essentially a little over 3 years later, management position. So, very quickly, you could also become a sales manager if that's the career path that you want to take. So what's involved in sales management? If you'd like in the slides, this is hyperlinked. This is a day in the life of a sales manager talking about their job. But it helps with forming the marketing strategy, and it's also a dynamic process. So dynamic meaning it's ever changing. So there are a lot of moving parts that you're going to see this semester, and things change very quickly. And so you can read this definition of sales management, but what I want to show you is really the process. And so it involves kind of 3 steps: formulation, implementation, then evaluation and control of a sales program. So this is really an overview kind of the semester. So we're starting with kind of the environment, the internal, external environment. And then next week, we'll talk about marketing strategy and then see how sales fits within a marketing strategy. And then from there, get into sales management activities. So we're going to start with the high level, and then we're going to narrow it down. So looking at overall sales management, getting into how it fits with marketing strategies for our firm, and then getting into specific management activities. So, skip through this. Priorities for sales managers generally are growth. So growth in terms of a lot of times growing your sales force, but the reason you'd be growing your sales force is because you're expanding to meet up with demand. Also, having salespeople that add value. You are going to be communicating a lot with the upper level management as a part of being management. Also, attracting and retaining top talent. So we'll do a whole module just on that. And then really the alignment between sales and marketing. So you see this quote down here, there aren't enough leads versus what happened to the leads we gave you. A lot of times your leads are going to come from marketing, and then maybe the leads aren't qualified or really what you're looking for when it gets to the salesperson. So as the sales manager, it's your job to help marketing understand this is what we need in terms of prospects in order to help get good leads for your salespeople. So characteristics of sales managers, just because you're an excellent salesperson does not mean you'll be an excellent sales manager. They're two very different jobs. You have to be, as a sales manager, you have to understand the salesperson and their job. But then with a sales manager, there are a lot of other functions. So you're going to wear some days an HR hat. You're going to be a coach. You're going to be a leader. You're going to be in between your people and upper management. So there are a lot of other things besides making a sale. So a lot of times someone that's a good salesperson really makes a better sales manager than someone that's just a super salesperson. So trends in sales management, very relationship oriented. Like you learn in the professional selling class, what we're teaching you is relationship-based selling. So customer focused, you want to make money, obviously, but doing that in the right way where you're helping your customer solve a problem, and you're bringing a solution to them that adds value for their firm. A lot more working in teams, more focus on productivity versus volume. So volume is just, I want to sell as much as I can to everyone. Productivity is getting better customers that you achieve the same end result income as you would with volume, but with productivity, you're going to have long-lasting customers. Also a switch from management to leadership. And every semester I say, I wish this class was called Salesforce Leadership, because you're going to be a leader, not a manager, in the sense that you're going to have your thumb on top of people and you're telling people what to do day in, day out. No, you're going to be a leader. You're going to show your salespeople what to do. You're going to equip them with the right tools. You're going to hire the right salespeople so that they can be their own little entrepreneurs, which goes on with the next bullet. And that makes people a lot happier than having a micromanager. And also more global, which all of us pretty much know this day and age, but most likely you're going to work for a firm that's multinational. So these are along the same lines, and I'll let you read through those. I'm trying to skip the slides that you can really read for yourself and doesn't require more explanation. And then in terms of the role of the sales force, I wanted you to have a review of the process of buying and selling, because if you're going to manage a sales force, I want to make sure we're all on the same page in terms of what that process is. So this should serve as really a review. And like I said, I'm not going to go through all the slides with you. I am going to go through this slide. But you can review the slides and just the steps in the process. And If you haven't had professional selling in a while, or, you know, it's been over winter break and you just need a little review, go through that. So creating value for your customer, helping them come up or helping them with a custom solution. And so just remembering what value is to begin with. So value is benefits over cost. So the benefit should outweigh the cost. And it's going to differ depending on the type of customer. So on one hand, you have intrinsic value. On the other, you have extrinsic. So with intrinsic value, you can see that the value really is in the product itself. It's internal to the product. With extrinsic value, it's external to the product or service. So it's in the advice, the customization, you as a salesperson. So it doesn't mean that there's not value in the product, but also in addition, there's this other value. And then a whole nother type of value is strategic value. And you see this a lot when you talk about key accounts, and we'll talk about that in a week. But that's where you really get value from the ability to work with two firms, your firm and your customer's firm, being partners and leveraging from each other's competencies. So it's just important to understand the different types of value. So a lot of what we focus on in relationship selling, so the relationship would be extrinsic value, is this extrinsic value consultative selling, and not just transactional. So again, this the next slides are going to go through all the professional selling process. So it'll go through prospecting, pre-approach, so on through follow-up. And this is from, if you took professional selling, that Lil text. So I'm going to stop here and I'll let you read through these, and then I'm going to do another little video just on the CRM activities.